Hello everyone, today I've got a follow-up Elementalist build for you. This build is to update my old condition damage Elementalist build. We'll begin with the traits. 0, 0, 20, 20, 30. Start with Earth Magic. I put as many points as I could into Earth Magic while still trying to maintain Healing Ripple and Evasive Arcana. So 20 points in. Strength of Stone, just a good DPS increase. It's important to have high condition damage with a condition damage build, obviously. So this is a good way to get it. There are other trait choices. If someone's trying to kite you, like a ranger maybe, you can use Geomancer's Freedom. Or Rock Solid can be effective against a warrior. Geomancer's Alacrity I've always found to be good, but not quite better than Strength of Stone. If you want more cooldowns, you can use it. It's just not amazing. Earthen Blast, only good if someone's trying to kite you. It's another condition which buffers their condition removal a little bit, makes it harder to get down to your burns and bleeds, but all around not bad, but not great. Armor of Earth from Earth's Embrace. This is really, really good. Combined with Elemental Attunement and another Armor of Earth, it gives us a high protection uptime and the stability that we're going to need if we want to use Ether Renewal to keep it from getting interrupted. Stoneflesh, great for more toughness. We want lots and lots and lots of toughness. We're going to be shifting into Earth Attunement a lot, and with Lingering Elements it's going to last for longer. It's just great toughness. Next we have Soothing Mist. You may have seen this before in one of my other videos, but when you combine Soothing Mist with Lingering Elements, because Soothing Mist recharges and refreshes every 5 seconds, if you switch into water, stay for a second, and then switch out, it's going to refresh even after you're out of water attunement. That means that you can have permanent Soothing Mist. Look at this. I still have 3-4 seconds left when water attunement's already back up. Permanent Soothing Mist. Along with Soothing Wave and Elemental Attunement, we have high, almost permanent regeneration uptime. Not quite permanent, but almost. So that's Soothing Mist and regeneration, a lot of healing. Next we have Healing Ripple. This is the main reason we go so far into water, besides the extra healing power. You need as much healing as you can get, and that extra 2,000 every 10 seconds is just incredible. Cleansing Wave, one condition removed. If you're fighting an Elementalist, you could actually use Stop, Drop, and Roll. Potentially can remove more conditions, but altogether it's not more effective, I wouldn't say, unless you're fighting an Elementalist. In Arcana, Arcane Fury doesn't help us too much. We don't really need the crit chance, but could be useful. Windborne Dagger, I find that this is just enough to keep up with anyone so that they can't run away and get out of your dagger range. Now, some people think you need permanent swiftness, but if your opponent has permanent swiftness and they're running away from you, they will run faster. However, they can't attack you. You can still attack them. You still have some ranged abilities. So you have an advantage if they're running away. If they're strafing and attacking you, they will move slower than you and you will catch up to them. That's all there is to it. You're going to catch them. 15% is plenty. Plus there's no other good trait choices in this area. We don't use a Scepter. Blocking 3 attacks is not that great. We don't crit very much, so we're not going to get this Vigor. We don't use any arcane skills, and we don't use a staff, so none of those are very good. Lingering Elements we've already talked about, really, really good with Soothing Mist and Stoneflesh for defense. Elemental Attunement we've talked some about too, but most importantly here is the protection. High protection uptime. The swiftness, also good for not getting kited, but high protection uptime is incredible. Arcane Precision, worthless as always. And Evasive Arcana. Before, I didn't choose this because I actually thought that each of them shared a cooldown. I thought that each of the blast abilities shared a cooldown with the others, so that it was only once every 10 seconds. That is not the case. They each have their own 10-second cooldown, which means you can switch between using the fire and water and put lots of burning and healing on yourself. But most importantly, healing yourself. That's what this is for. Every 10 seconds, just like with Healing Ripple, we get 2,000 healing. Cleansing Wave is a combination of Cleansing Wave, I don't know why they're named the same thing, it's kind of ridiculous, and Healing Ripple. So it's just really, really good for healing. Again, we want as much healing as possible. Let's go to the gear. Still full dire with Runes of Perplexity, just fantastic. And with this build, we actually make the Perplexity more effective. We're running a main hand Dagger now. The reason we're running Dagger is because it has more damage overall than the Scepter, and it has more reliable damage. And here's what I mean. The Scepter's abilities are mostly single target. This auto attack single target, this auto attack single target, this auto attack is single target. Most of the abilities are single target. In fact, almost all the abilities are single target. But with the Dagger, we have AoE abilities, which are great for dealing with clones and pets and Thieves Guild and phantasms, but also for hitting stealth thieves, which you're going to have to do a lot. So the AoE auto attacks are really, really helpful for putting out more damage. And Shocking Aura. This is incredibly good because if you use Shocking Aura and someone attacks you, not only do they get stunned, but they get interrupted. That means almost every time you activate Shocking Aura, you're going to proc Perplexity. So 5 stacks of confusion every time you use Shocking Aura, and stunning your opponent, which helps survivability more. Just really, really, really good. Also, in fire, you're going to put out more burning thanks to Drake's Breath and the line of fire from burning speed. And in earth, here's the real bonus. Before, we had this kind of clunky attack that does a lot of bleeding damage, but it takes almost 2 seconds to cast if you include the ending animation. It's really easy for someone to run through you, and it will cancel your cast. So that long 2-second cast that doesn't let go of the burst until the end is really annoying to try and use. Also, if there's clones or pets in the way, it won't hit them. But with Dagger, you never have that problem. If they run behind you, you can attack behind you, no problem. And you have Ring of Earth, crippling and even more bleed damage. So altogether, you have almost as much bleed damage, not quite as much, but if your target's not going to stand still, Dagger does more damage. And obviously they're not going to stand still. Plus the immobilization here is better than the blind on the Scepter, in my opinion. Next we use Signet of Restoration because it puts out more total healing than any other healing skill, period. It's just going to do more total healing. If you're fighting, say, a Condition Mesmer or a Condition Thief, you want to run Ether Renewal because you need the condition removal against them. Obviously, that's going to save you more health. But overall, it is not more healing, and it can get interrupted. So if you don't use it correctly in conjunction with Armor of Earth or Obsidian Flesh, it's kind of easy to interrupt this, and then you're dead. So you got to be very careful about that. Overall, Signet is better. Glyph of Elemental Power. This is one of the things that makes Dagger so amazing. Dagger has fast attacks, and each of the attacks have a 25% chance per target, so this can hit multiple targets. You can stack up bleeds on, or not bleeds, I'm sorry, you can put burning on several targets from Glyph of Elemental Power because your attacks are AoE. Now, here's the amazing thing. Chance for fire spells to burn. That's actually not true. Chance for all spells to burn. If you activate it in fire attunement, no matter what attunement you're in, you still burn your targets. So for 30 seconds after activating it, you apply burning on 1 out of 4 attacks. Generally. It actually has a 5-second internal cooldown, but the burning lasts for 4 1/4 seconds. So combine that with anything else, all the burning here, you're going to have permanent burning on them easily. And even if they remove it, 5 seconds later, it's going back on, no matter what. Next, we have Armor of Earth. Fantastic for protection uptime, for stability against warriors, especially if you need to use Ether Renewal, just a great defensive ability. And Signet of Earth. More toughness, and the immobilization is fantastic for getting people to blow their cooldowns early, and for finishing off opponents who don't have any cooldowns left. You can immobilize them, and then just rain down the conditions, and they won't be able to do anything about it. Reaper of Grenth, as always, permanent shield and poison AoE is just incredible. There's no doubt about it. It's incredible. You can see here it does almost 250 DPS, it looks like. That's quite a bit. So 250 DPS from poison on top of, what is it, 750 DPS from burning, from burning. So that's 1,000 DPS just from having poison and burning. You might have noticed that we switched sigils here. Instead of running Sigil of Geomancy, I'm now running Sigil of Doom, which actually gives us permanent poison. This is incredibly good because, again, this build is made for outlasting your opponent, so if you cut their healing by 33%, you can outlast them so much better. It just makes it so effective to outlast them. Instead of Sigil of Chilling, I would actually like Sigil of Bursting. That would be more effective. However, I don't have that right now, so that's okay. But later I will be getting that, and that is more effective. If you have any comments or suggestions for how I can make this build better, please feel free to leave them in the comments section below. This build is not perfect. There are always improvements to be made, as I have done over the past several months, and there will be more and more improvements coming. So if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Thank you.